Okay, so I'm going to show you how to make that red ball wreath the easiest way I know how, and I'm not good at recording, so we'll start with this. So this is a wreath that I've already fluffed out. They start out looking like this, which I get them from Michael's. This is a 20-inch wreath that's $2.48. I beg your pardon, I didn't get this from Michael's, I got this from Walmart. So last year when Walmart was marking down all of their wreaths, I went in and bought a ton of them. They look like this to begin with, and I just sit and fluff it. I actually do it sitting, not up on this. This is where I make all my wreaths. This was made for me about 25 years ago. I cannot make a wreath that is sitting on a table to save my life. So if I make a wreath and I'm not around this, I have to put the wire tie on the back and hang it from something. So this is really simple to make. You can see how horribly used it is. I've spray painted things and whatnot on it. So this wreath comes formed terribly. It's not real full, and that really does not matter. What I do as far as fluffing is I sit and just start bringing all of these out. I want to make sure that all of the ones that are on the back are going forward. So I'll just do a small part right here to show you. I just bring everything up like this. I think sometimes people start making their wreaths on the bases that aren't fluffed real good, and that doesn't always turn out real pretty. So I fluff these. They do have some sort of, they look the same. So I'll fluff it like this to get it where I want, and I just turn it and keep fluffing. So at the end of me doing that, I get this. So what I do is I will look at this wreath, and Walmarts are really bad at this, but they have one particular edge or one particular part that is pretty lean. It doesn't have a lot of fluff to it, and that is where I will put my bow. So right now, and that's usually wherever the price tag is being hung, that's where you will find that. And so I'm going to put my hanger up here, and what I use are pipe cleaners because they're flexible, and normally I have colored ones because my customers always want to know where the hanger is on them. So normally I'll have a red one, and I put them in half like this and twist them, and I keep twisting like this, and then I will, and you want to do this first, I will see if I can do this where I can see, where you can see. I already put it on, so I'm just going to bring it through the greenery like this, and then just twist a couple times like this. Then when I bring up the loop, I'm going to twist the loop a couple of times like so. So that's how I do my hooks, and they seem to do okay and keep up. So then I make sure I have a nail up there. I have to tell you a little story. My son, who is 27, I told them not long ago, I said, I want you guys to put your names on pieces of, I have some antiques that you want in case something ever happens to me. And my son, Eric, who's 27, he goes, Mom, I want your wreath holder. And I laughed. I don't know how many times I've almost thrown that out. So anyway, I'm going to get this up closer to me and adjust this so you guys can see what I'm doing. One of the first things I do is I use the garland in my wreaths. You don't have to, but it kind of fluffs them out. And I just will put some hot glue right there, And I started at the bottom where I know the bow is going to be. And I started there. And you can do this any way you want, but I bring them in and out. I kind of weave these in and out of the greenery. You can do that with lights too if you want to put the lights on these. I sell a lot of the sports wreaths with lights on them. So I'm just weaving this back and forth all the way around. I know with the one wreath that you ladies saw, probably didn't look like this was in there, but it actually was. And then I'm going to bring it right here, and then I just kind of go in and out. I don't really have any particular order. I just want to make sure that I get most of the spots that I can. I'm probably going to do this video in 2 different videos because I haven't quite figured out how to hit the pause button, and it's going to be kind of a long video and they're a little harder to upload, so I will probably make this in 2 different parts. So once I get back down to, there we go, back down to here, I'm just going to go ahead and cut that. And I'm not going to worry about gluing it in. You can, but with the bow and everything else, and I don't have my scissors here. Lovely. Oh my goodness. With the bow there, it's not going to be that big of a deal. Okay, so the other thing I was going to say is that I make a lot of wreaths at once, so I make it like a production line. So I have already gotten this stuff over here ready. So I've gotten all of the gold beads ready. I have my ribbon ready. I'm going to show you how to make a ribbon. Normally I have a whole bunch of bows made up. I have the bows that go in this particular wreath. And what I've done is I've taken ribbon and I just tie it in a knot and I cut it at an angle and I make a whole bunch of these. So, and I just sit while I'm watching TV at night, I'll put those together. So I get all that ready so I don't have to stop and make something. So also we have a whole bunch of red balls, and I actually have I counted them the other day. I think I have like 7 32-gallon garbage cans full of these particular balls, because I went to all the Walmarts last year when their stuff was 75 to 90% off, and I bought them out. And then I took one day on a weekend and I took them all out of their boxes and filled up garbage cans. So now I have them really quick and easy to access and make the wreaths. So I'm going to start this. I don't like being in videos. So I like using the glitter balls and the non-glitter balls, and I kind of rotate or do every other one. And I put my glue right here. Some of my other wreaths I don't, because I put decals on them. But this particular one I do this way. Let's see if I can get a little better angle. There we go. So I know for this particular wreath, my bow is going to go right here. So I'm going to start the balls probably right here, go all the way around, and then go back. When I'm making wreaths, I kind of do it in no particular order, but I do try to do every other one glitter and not glitter. So this is probably at a part where I am going to do some of it and then stop this video and start it again when I have more of them done. Otherwise, it's gonna be a long, drawn out video. So I put a bunch of glue right there on it, and I just stick it in there, right there. And then the next one, my glue gun is horrible. I need a new glue gun. I will stick right there. You don't have to mess. The thing that people make mistakes with is they try to mess around with making sure it's in the right spot or it's stuck good enough. Hot glue is great. You just put it on and just set it there, and it's gonna stick. So I'm doing every other one different. That one's kind of a shiny one. I'm gonna go right there. Maybe I will go ahead and do the whole thing, and then you can see exactly how I make it. And there. So it's like coloring. All you're doing is you're outlining. Put one there. And there. And these balls are all different. You can get these balls at Walmart. In fact, I know that some of the Walmarts have already put them out. I think they're like $8.89 for 40 of them. So see, I've already got that much outlined. These wreaths go together really fast. There's just not a lot except for sticking the balls in filling in all the gaps with ribbons. So I'm gonna bring this one. I know the bow is there, so I'll put my last one there. And then I start and I go back, and I'm kind of strange. I don't like them exactly right across from each other, so I will put them kind of in the middle. So there we go. There's one in the middle. I got enough balls. Stick that one there. When I originally started making that wreath that you guys saw, I wanted to make it where you saw none of the greenery. It was a wreath that I had seen, and then it kind of ended up the way it ended up. If you can see, I'm just shoving them in. And put it there. And there. And then next go around, I'm going to put one there. And I actually did put balls on top of each other. See, that's all right. It's right next to another glittered one. I guess it doesn't matter. Put it there. And as you're making them, you can kind of see where it is you're going to want. I'm going to want another one right there. I'm having a really bad hair day. I didn't do anything to my hair. And there. The thing about these kind of wreaths is just don't overthink it. Just shove the stuff in. And there. I've got some of these smaller ones. You can do, the next one I'm doing is gold. I'm going to do a solid gold one. I've got tons of gold balls. And I'll stick that there. And then, so that's pretty full already, but the wreath that I posted is a little bit fuller, so I'm going to stick that right there. I'm going to take one of these that's kind of odd shaped and stick it on top there. And there. I have found that the best way to see if your wreath is somewhat symmetrical or how you want it. Now see, I'm going to go back and forth now doing different ones. See that I want one right there. I used to just hang it on the wall and look at it and try to decide if it needed anything else done. See if you can see that. That's just kind of going right on top of that one. Now I take a picture of the wreath hanging on the door, and I can get a better idea of what needs to go where by looking at a picture of it. I'm going to put one there. Rather than trying to eyeball it, right after it's done. So right now, let's see, that's what that wreath looks like right now. I would probably put a few more balls in it, like right there. And if you had little small balls, which I do, but I don't have any red ones. This one's gonna be all red. You could stick them in all these different places. Like I'll probably stick one right there. Now the thing you want to do with these thinner wreaths, put one right here. I buy, Michael's and Walmart always have the garlands that they're selling. They always go on sale. I never buy any of my supplies unless they're on sale, unless they're clearanced out, unless I can use a coupon. And if I do it that way, I can actually get them less than I can get them wholesale. So if I look at this wreath right now, something that's kind of bugging me is I see a piece of greenery here and there's not one here, but I know that I'm going to put bows in everywhere on this. So I will look at that part of it, like this bothers me right here, but I'll put bows in to fill it up. If this was not one of those particular wreaths, I would cut off a piece of one of these off of those garlands and I would stick it in here. I always have garlands, that's what I was going to say. I always have those garlands to cut greens off to stick in and fluff up a bow. So when I was buying stuff on sale last year, I bought cases of these, which are exactly the same, the garlands and the same stuff. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my bows, which I don't tie these in any particular order, but this particular stuff has the edges are gold. So all I do is I tie it in a knot and cut it at an angle. Then I take it like this and I kind of try to see where the most of my gold is. That's not that necessary, but and then I just fold it in half like this and I put my glue right there and I just shove it in and then I kind of spread it apart a little bit to see how it looks. And I'll bring this down a little bit and I'll do another one. Oops, my glue goes there and I'll stick it right there. And I do that all the way around, even where the bow is going to go. And I just keep doing that all the way around. I try to make sure the ones on the sides come out about the same. So basically you're just filling this thing up with bows. And I'll put one there. Probably needed another ball right there, but we'll just do this one this way. So I just keep going all the way around. Now when you're all done poking bows in it, you can go through and fluff your bows also. That's another way to do it. I want a bow right there, or whatever you want to call these. So I'm going to stop this video. I'm just filling these things in all the way around. Like I said, I'm not even thinking about how I'm putting them in. I'm just putting them in. And I'm going to turn this off because I'm not sure about this program, and I usually do little videos from my phone, but I scaled up to an actual camera. So anyway, I'm going to keep putting these in. I'm going to turn this off and then I'll make a part 2.